Okay. Okay, y'all. So check this out. So listen, today I am fin to be exposing the actual lie. And this is listen, this is not just for the Puff Daddy situation. This is for like a lot of situations. So now we all know that everybody likes to do YouTube videos, like blog posts about celebrity birth charts. And I'm here to tell y'all this. A lot of that stuff do be fake. A lot of that stuff do be nothing but intuition and guesswork. I'm just keeping it 100%. You want to know why? Because in order to have a person's information, what you all have to understand is this: you need the actual time of birth. You need the time of birth, right? There is no specific time of birth for Puff Daddy or the majority of a lot of these other celebrities in general. A lot of these other celebrities do not be having, like, think about it, you all. Do y'all post y'all birth time on social media? No. How many people you know are just do that? Post basically they birth certificate information online. You don't really know a lot of people who even do that. So how is everybody coming up with these different birth charts, right? This is how the birth chart is supposed to look. You come over here to AstroSeek, you click note well. So let's go. I got all his information typed in, right? So look at that. Got his birthday, where he from, and I do sidereal Vedic astrology, right? And so we click unknown time because we do not know his time, right? And then once you calculate the actual chart, always remember this: Aries is the first zodiac sign. Aries is the first zodiac sign, and everything follows in order. And so whenever you don't have a person's birth time and you come to any type of site, it's supposed to automatically default to Aries as being the rising sign or the first or the first, house, right? At least as far as positional wise, right? I would say that correctly. So look, notice how you don't see it's a ASC, which stands for ascendant, or also known as the rising sign, right? It's just blank, right? Because Aries is normally the natural initial first house, right? As far as zodiac sign, Rashi, you know what I mean? So check this out. What I want everybody to understand is this: a lot of people do be lying. A lot of people be lying. This is literally your proof. You can look this up with anybody, right? Matter of fact, let's look at some of the people who got some of his birth charts. If it don't say Aries, then guess what? People are just basically making up stuff. Like, look at this. What is it right there? What are they trying to say? I think either a Sagittarius or I think a Sagittarius or a Capricorn ascendant, whatever they trying to say right there. Let's see what this one right here say. Um, let's see what this one right here say. Oh my God, Lord have mercy. Let you get off of that. I just want y'all to see all the stuff that I be seeing. 'Cause a lot of people just be like, well, no, it's not no well. You got people out here just lying. Look at this right here. Let's look at this right here. Hopefully it load up. Oh my God, all this cyber security. Look at that. Look, y'all see, they don't even want to let stuff load up. But y'all can see right here from these pictures. Look, it say his ascendant is in Libra. His ascendant is in Libra. What else? Let's see. This one got right here. I guess they making his moon his ascendant, which well, I'm gonna show you all here in a few seconds. I don't know if they trying to say that's his ascendant. Nope. Yeah, I think that's what they saying. His ascendant. No, his ascendant right here is in Cancer. Do you all see that? Do you all see that? Real talk. I just want everybody to fully understand what I'm seeing. A lot of people just be on here lying, y'all. A lot of people be on here just using intuition and guesswork with a little bit of astrological understanding. Thing about it is, you can sound really, really, really smart to people who don't know anything about this subject matter at all, right? And then you can kind of twist and bend things to kind of like fit whatever narrative you are trying to craft when it comes to actually telling you how to read a person's birth chart. Yeah, because you got to remember, y'all, listen, you need specific, accurate birth time. You need specific. Matter of fact, let's see. We can open this image in a new tab. Where is it say right here? His sun is in. Okay. Oh, they don't got no ascendant and stuff like that. Okay. Let's get off of that. But I want everybody to understand, y'all. Listen, a lot of people just be, and this not just for his chart. A lot of people's charts. People be just really lying. People be really lying. But today I am going to show you um, in an actual more realistic way on how to truly understand the actual chart of Puff Daddy, right? So we're gonna just look at it reading from his moon sign. Now remember, I do Vedic astrology. I want everybody to understand this. When it comes to the moon sign, the moon is the mind and the emotions. And yes, in Vedic astrology, you can read a person's birth chart from their actual mind, right? So you got the regular birth chart, which is about their overall life. Then you got the moon chart, which is about how this individual feels or perceives every area of life. Understand that. So now his moon is inside of Leo. Let's take a look. His moon right here is inside of Leo and is conjunct the South Node, also known in Vedic astrology as Ketu. Now, for those of you all who don't know Vedic astrology is all about nakshatras and all these other things in sidereal astrology. His moon is at 15 degrees Leo. 15 degrees Leo is ruled by this portion of the sky, this portion of the ecliptic, the actual star belt, where the constellational zodiac signs reside at. This is called Purva Falguni, and Purva Falguni is a very, very sexually intense nakshatra, right? So you got the zodiac signs, then you got the smaller zodiac signs, which are like called the lunar mansions, right? So put it like this: Leo is comprised of like two and a half types of zodiac. I mean, two and a half type of smaller zodiac signs, right? So you got Maga Leo, Purple Falguni Leo, and Uttara Falguni Leo. His moon is inside of Purple Falguni Leo, and Purple Falguni is symbolized by a bed. And it's a very, very freak nasty nakshatra, right? So off top, his moon is already what? Extremely, extremely, extremely freaky. That's because his mind is there, right? Because this portion of Leo is a very highly sexualized it's a very highly sexualized point when it comes to merging the lunar mansions with the zodiacal signs, right? So now once you all understand this, his moon is also with the planet what? K2 or South Node, right? So he got strong past life karma regarding like some type of sexual tension, sexual desires, all things of that nature, right? But I really want you all to take a look at this. The moon conjunct K2. Remember this: the moon is a feminine planet already, but K2 in and of itself is a neutered planet, right? Meaning that it has no gender, right? So what does this mean? And I'm not saying everybody. That's why having this time of birth is extremely important, so we can know what houses they really truly going in. But until then, you have to look at it from just his moon sign and read it like that. Because if we had his birth time, especially in Vedic astrology, you got to look in multiple different charts to really like pinpoint and hit everything really home, right? Because essentially, when you get the ascendant, as far as like the time of birth, you can see because his Leo might be in the fifth house, eighth house, ninth house. We got to see what area of life is truly going on in. So I'm not gonna lie to y'all, but I'm just gonna read it from the best of my ability with just this little information that we do have. So if we make the moon his first house, remember this. His moon is conjunct Ketu, right? And that's a neuter planet, right? So this could mean somebody who could probably be a little bit of curious, right? That's just from a generalized standpoint. You may have this not be and not be that. But remember, he has other factors and other placements that can make him be that way more than just this. But I'm just going off of what the gender based planets are. Moon is already feminine. Everybody has it. Not everybody has Moon conjunct K2, right? But K2 is a neuter planet, and his Moon is already sitting in the highly sexual portion of Leo, right? So we get that off top. So now if he is a Leo moon, right? We remember, so we making Leo right here his first house, right? Well, check this out. What house do we need to be looking at? Eighth house for sexuality, 12th house for like bed pleasures, right? So I find it very funny that eighth from his moon, right? So listen, his moon's Leo. So in Vedic, we don't count, okay, his moon Leo, count to eight from Leo. We don't count like, okay, his moon Leo, one. No. Two, three. No. We say, okay, his moon is Leo, count from eight. So now we start with Leo. So one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. His eighth house, right? His eighth house is Pisces, right? Pisces is a very, very emotional, very sensual sign as well, right? But check this out. Jupiter control. Remember this. We looking at this from his mental aspect, right? From his mind and emotional perception. So listen. He already has Chiron there, right? The unhealable wound, right? And what Chiron is in the birth chart, it's kind of like this place where you're like kind of like hurt in, or kind of like self-conscious in, kind of like distraught in. So you have to learn how to be strong and carry on. You know what I'm talking about? Like through the pain. So what does it mean? He could have some issues related to what? Sexual trauma coming from his mind inside his own internal perception, right? But what I want you to all to understand is this. Look at this. Jupiter rules over what? Pisces, right? Where's Jupiter? Is Jupiter is boom. It is right here connected with the planet Venus, and it's also connected with what? Uranus and Pluto. Pluto is the new age planet in modern astrology that rules over Scorpio, the sign of sexuality. And then Uranus is the new age planet that rules over Aquarius, which is about radical transformation and being unconventional. And what is he getting in trouble for? Unconventional sexual endeavors. Right? So let's break that down. So you got the planet that controls his 12th house, right? Of like because now remember every house rules over a multitude of things, right? We just only taking away certain parts to really get you all to understand why and how he could be going through these things, right? So now Moon rules over his 12th house from his mind, right? Because look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So look at this. So put it like this: sexual secrets and bed pleasures coming right into his moon. But check this out. What else do he got there? He got Lilith sitting in Cancer, right? So now he got a rebellious, sexually charged, influenced moon, right? Because remember, Lilith is a Cancer, but the moon controls Cancer. So now the moon is kind of receiving some of those energies from Lilith and is channeling right into his actual mind, right? With Ketu, with the South Node, this past life energy. He got past life karma regarding these things, right? And then check this out. He got past life karma regarding these things. Check this out. From his mental aspect, and remember, in Vedic sidereal astrology, the moon is the most important planet. And that's what it goes off of. That's his primary thing, the moon's path, right? A little bit close to the sun, but not all the way fully exactly there, right? So now the sun controls all of this, right? His sun is sitting where? In Libra. I mean, he's getting caught up not with just some random woman, not with just some random streetwalk. He's getting caught up from somebody he was actually dealing in a relationship with. Do you all understand that? But check this out. It's a long-term relationship. You want to understand why? Because look directly across from Libra. Boom, you have a retrograde Saturn aspecting it, right? This is all coming from his mind, right? And remember, in Vedic astrology, you can look it up. You can read the birth chart from the moon. And a lot of times, you can even read the birth chart from Jupiter, right? But that's something that y'all probably gonna be like, hold up, what it's very you got to know a lot of stuff, right? So as you can see, look at why he going through all the stuff that he going through, right? I'm just saying, look at everything that he is going through. Ooh, excuse me. Ooh, Lord have mercy. And then so put it like this: fourth from his mind is what? It's going to be what? Scorpio, right? But look what he got right there. Neptune. So he got the planet of fantasies in the sign of sexuality, fourth from his actual moon sign. I mean, he got the makings of all of it, long term. He got the makings of all of it. He got the makings of all of it, right? But for those of you all know that the sixth house rules court custody battles and stuff like that and litigation, Mars controls over Scorpio. Mars is boom. Now it's inside of Capricorn. Right there. So that's why it seems like right now the case could really go kind of either way. I'm assuming, right, because of all stuff that they saying about Cassie, she willingly did a lot of the stuff and leaving her text messages then with him. So I mean, it could go. We gonna have to see. Like I said, if I really had his full birth chart, we could really truly see all the way. But I don't want to do that because I know it's other things you got to look at, take into consideration, like what house they in. So 'cause I could say it's I might give you a eighth house understanding of his situation the whole time. This shit is the 11th house situation. You understand that? So yeah, that's what's really going on. Yeah. So and listen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He got Mars and 6 from his moon, right? Meaning that he gonna try his best to fight. He gonna put up a good fight when it comes to that. That's why all the stuff about Cassidy came out. Now it's making her look like you up here trying to get this man in trouble or whatever for beating on you, whatever, and all this other stuff. But we seeing that you willing to stay, you willing to enjoy the free costs, all that. It's just so much stuff. But like I'm saying, if you see people saying, "Hey, this is oh yeah," and then another thing too. Check this out. These are the current trends right now. Listen, Venus is where? Venus is right there inside of Pisces, y'all. This is sidereal Vedic astrology. It's not tropical Western astrology. Y'all might be like, no, it's really over here. No, this is not the astrology that y'all are used to, right? The majority of y'all. But put it like this: Venus went into, I think, sidereal Pisces around early January. So Venus, and then look, Venus came look with Saturn. That mug came with Neptune. So you got to remember, in his eighth house is Pisces of sexuality. But it's with Chiron. He getting really hemmed up really, really, really bad right now. So yeah, so we just really proved just looking at that he got a strong sexual type of deviant energy. Now, disclaimer on this. What about other people that was born on Puff Daddy's birthday? Right? Why aren't they all going through the same exact thing? That's why you need the time. Because somebody could easily say, well, Rex, you got to understand, well, what about everybody else that was born on his same day? Well, I want you all to understand this, y'all. Listen, uh, when the ascendant changes, the overall life purpose changes, right? Now, remember, each zodiac sign is 30 degrees, right? So within those 30-degree segments, you have these 10-degree splits, right? So in what 10-degree range is his ascendant, is anybody's ascendant. You see what I'm saying? And then you read the planets from that. So it's a whole complicated matter, right? And then in Vedic astrology, we have deeper charts that change every 2 minutes, right? So the regular birth chart ascendant change every 2 hours. But once this birth chart changes every 2 hours, you have another even more smaller birth chart that changes every 24 seconds, and you have another birth chart that changes what? Every 2 minutes, right? So you have to look at all those configurations, right? So that's why I'm saying, so that's why there somebody could even say, hey, this could be easily disproven. How I was born on the same exact day he was. I'm not going through any of this because you don't really truly understand how nuanced astrology is, and I understand, and it's not your fault because of the way people teach it. It's like you hear a lot of this blah blah blah, simple stuff. You like, man, no, this is all fake. And I get it, but don't worry. Listen, I'm gonna be coming out with some more astrology exposed, but in a good way exposed, showing you okay how stuff really is and how stuff is really supposed to go. So yes, y'all. So listen, thank you for tuning in. And like I said, if they saying that they got this birth chart and all that stuff, listen, just make sure you understand. Say, do you have his time of birth like in a very do you have his accurate time of birth? They're gonna be like, well, they're gonna be like, well, exact. So yes, y'all. Other than that, I will holler at y'all later. All right? Peace.